Welcome back to another episode of The Binding of Moonpir, Boston Rebirth. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpir.
Not gonna lie, I was waiting for you to say TVGP.
I got it this week. Now we'll see if I can get the other episode.
Yeah.
Boy, we had a bunch of weird dailies this week.
Yeah, like, really stupidly weird, including the weirdest of all, which was the duplicate daily.
It was so nice we had it twice.
Yes. No, it wasn't. That was a terrible one. It had the
That was
stupid...
real bad.
It had the stupid bear thingy that splits in two, and I just constantly take damage from it. The one you fight before Mega Satan.
Oh, the bird. Oh, yeah, the one that's like a mini Satan that splits into two.
Yeah, whatever it's
Junior
called.
diet Satans.
Yes, that
Yeah.
guy. And then they all do the cross beams, which is the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That
was,
guy.
to make it worse, it was a lost daily that went, I think, all the way to Mega Satan, right?
Don't know if it was a Mega Satan run.
Or it
It
was
might
Dark
have been
Room,
a
maybe?
Dark Room.
Yeah, it went, all the way or nearly all the way. And man, just one of those, I made it all the way through in the first daily, and then when it came up, I was like Neo from the Matrix fighting, not Teratoma, no, it is Teratoma, the first daily, and then the second one just cornered me with like 4 of the bouncing parts and just
Yep.
hit me twice right back to back.
I did terribly on both of those. Like, really, really terribly. So,
Yeah.
so
They were
far,
tough ones.
So far this week, it's 5-1. I haven't done today's yet. I'm feeling a bit punched in the face by Isaac this week. It's just not been nice to me at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the dailies were really rough this week, but my normal runs were rough this week as well, to be honest. And I don't know if it's because my headspace is somewhere else. Monster Hunter. Or just because it's a bit of a rough period right now, but for whatever reason, I'm getting a little beat up by Isaac. Now I know it'll loop around and I'll get back to the owning the Isaac mode. But this week has been a kick me in the face while I'm still down. Like, as of today, it's 5-1 to you. Like, I only took one barely, and I think it was Tuesday's run, but every other run, even your horrible run with the loss yesterday, you still beat me.
Well, I have a minor positive spoiler for you on today's daily. Obviously, since it's Sunday, it's a normal mode Mega Satan run. And it goes a pretty cool way on the very first floor. I walked in one of those like L-shaped rooms, and sitting on a pedestal surrounded by just some breakable blocks was Mom's knife.
Oh, okay.
And just like, oh, okay. And, me and I think it was Judas, and me and Judas and one of the, whatever it's the Incubus, I think it was, were just throwing knives for that
everywhere.
entire rest of the one.
Yeah. No,
It was great.
I'm looking forward to doing it. It's just sitting down and actually doing it. But no, like, these dailies have just been so tough this week, especially with the double daily, and it's, I'm still getting, like, even with the X, I'm still getting crashes on my game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because at this point I'm assuming it's a hard drive issue, because I have mine installed to my 4 terabyte hard drive. So I can only assume, because this is the only game I'm really getting consistent crashes with still. So I'm assuming it's a bad section of the hard drive where it happens to be located.
I get a bunch of crashes on PS4 too. I think it's just, it's part of what. Well, yeah, Nicholas is part of it, but it's also Ed has said in the past, when he's working with the programmers over at Nicholas, that's just at this point the game has gotten so complex that trying to swash out crash bugs is going to be. Did you start an Eden run and you got this 1 in a million combo that just crashes the game every time? Or, our favorite, which is Maggie goes into takes a left into a curse room on the beginning of a run and it crashes. It's like,
Yep.
that seems like an easy thing to QA and reproduce, but, is it an easy thing to fix?
Yeah. No, it's like is it Lilith is the one with the razor blade?
Eve.
It's like her. Like, if you have 2 hearts and you go into a curse room with 2 hearts and then leave the curse room, to take you down to that It's a Terrible Night to Have a Curse and the transformation, every time it crashes for me.
Oh, really?
So I can't leave
Horror Babylon
is
weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's that sort of thing where it's, you can look at it from the outside and be like, I can reproduce this. Why isn't it fixed? But that has to be such a huge code base at this point, even after they rewrote it for Rebirth.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
but yeah, I mean, the game is still amazing. I've still put probably upwards of 300 hours into it at this point now, so
yeah,
you with your 600,000 hours into it is pretty bad.
My 10,000 hours means I'm an expert time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, and Moonpir and I will eventually, once both he and I have stuff set up, move over to the PC to join the favored crowd.
Yeah, the ranks of the elite.
Yeah, not the second class console peasants.
Yep.
Even I thought Switch would even get a little bit more love because it seems to be selling well and had a lot of buzz for being released pretty early, and then Loki's horns still don't drop.
Yeah.
So
they legitimately, I get the feeling. What's his name?
Edmund?
Yes. I get the feeling he cares. I get the feeling Nicholas just doesn't.
Well, there was a really interesting thread on Twitter the other day where Ed was posting about the final booster pack that's going to come out on PC, saying, like, it was bigger than I thought. We're just going to put more stuff in there than I thought. I think I'm done planning what's going to go in there, and I'm about halfway done. And then once all that's done, then Nicholas is going to put it all together and put that stuff on the other platforms. And a bunch of people were coming in and saying, like, look, I'm really disappointed you didn't stick to the monthly plan like you originally planned for booster packs. I feel a little bit deceived by what happened. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, well, I sort of assumed that people would like less frequent but much bigger booster packs. And someone come in and said, we do, but you need to tell us that. And his response was basically like, oh. Yeah. One of those things where, like, he could have come back and said, like, well, screw you, like, I'm giving you free content. And he was just like, right, I guess I didn't do that. Crap. I'm so sorry about that. I will do better in the future. And it's like, cool.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. Like,
yeah.
Like, from everything you hear about the auteurs of the video game industry, like, everyone's got their quirky, whatever natures. Like, you hear about people like Kojima, and he's a nice guy, but he is clearly insane.
Yes. Mostly positively insane.
Yeah. But then you hear about other people like pixel side-scrolling, collect the cubes fella.
Phil Fish.
Yes. Who is...
I like that I got that.
Because when you're talking about quirky personalities in the video game industry, he's one of them. Positive or negative, that guy is a little on the quirky side.
Yeah. And I like, Edmund regularly features his large collection of fan-made Isaac stuff that people send him. Like he has a giant display case in his house, and he said, if you have stuff you made, I will put it in there. Like, here's a P.O. box, you can just send it to me, and that's pretty cool. I agree. I feel like he really does care. Like, he really does love making games. Mm-hmm. If he didn't, I feel like he wouldn't still be stuck on Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. I think if he didn't care about the games themselves, I think Meat Boy would have broken him. Because
that's for sure.
That game was incredibly intense to put together, but also the whole release nature of that and the whole issues. Like, if you haven't seen it, go watch Indie Game the movie, and you will see these quirky personalities that we're talking about
getting broken.
Mm-hmm, getting broken in full flow, and then see Jonathan Blow being Jonathan Blow.
Yep.
He is probably my least favorite person in the video game industry, to be completely honest.
Yeah, love him or hate him, he's a personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't do a whole lot like in my standard runs this week. I took a whole bunch of, we just said her name, Eve. I did a whole bunch of Eve runs, and I was stupid every single time. Because I'm like, I'll get some of Eve's check marks done. Yay, unlock some more items. No, I'm an idiot because I keep picking up stuff like Lazarus's rags.
Oh, right.
Not thinking to myself, oh, when I die, these will change me to Lazarus and therefore make the post-it note pointless.
I'll just pick up Judas's shadow. Ah, crap.
Yep, that was a mistake.
That happens to me with Eve all the time, where I pick up items that I forget also give me health. Like, I'll be real excited to pick up the Halo or Magic Mushroom, and I was like, yeah, man, I broke Whore of Babylon. Come on.
Now I have 2 hearts. And boy, it was 3 floors ago that I threw away the razor blade.
Or it's one of those weird ones like Fat Odd Mushroom, where I'm like, I know Skinny Odd Mushroom doesn't give you health, but Fat Odd Mushroom does. And I'm like, oh, I get a damage bonus. Oh, no, I don't.
Yep.
I got health.
Yeah. But no, I've had a couple of really good runs with it, but I just keep making the same mistake. One, it was Judas. One, it was Lazarus. The other one, it was, I can't remember if this is the right one, so I just picked up the Post of the Lost. Because I'm an idiot.
Just finishing, firming up that flowchart. That's all it is.
Yeah, refining it for hair. And then continuing to refine it for everybody else as I go down the line until I get to the Nightmare one. The monster himself. And you don't get good unlocks for him, do you, either? From what I remember you saying, like, the things you unlock for him is just not great.
They're fine. It's not like finishing stuff with the Lost and you get Godhead and it's like, great, this is amazing. I think you get Mega. I think you get for completing the post-it notes on everyone, so it's not even like a keeper-related thing.
Yeah, it's the stupid mega huge super buster I am Goku blast.
Yeah, the one-handed Kamehameha.
Yes. The father-son Kamehameha for the best one.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I didn't play any Binding of Isaac other than the dailies this week. It was one of those weeks where it's like, you texted me the other night saying, like, hey, is this the same daily just over again? And I was like, man, it's almost 8 o'clock at night, and I have not had time to run this thing yet, so...
Yep, which for the record, you normally run yours at, like, 6 a.m. as well. Like, you're normally top of the leaderboard because you do it before anybody else has a
fourth spot, to. Yeah. Also, we're playing Afterbirth, which most people aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you very much for listening. That's our episode, and thank you, Moonpir, for joining me yet again in our adventures in the basement.
You're welcome. Hopefully we'll more ticks next week. The post-it notes must be completed. I'm going to get that on a shirt. The post-it note must be completed.
And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.